Am I the a-hole for refusing to lend my sister-in-law money after she got the house I was expecting to go to all of us? This account comes from Late Afternoon 9. Years ago, my wife and I moved back to live close to her elderly parents. We bought a house that was a couple of streets over from them for about $300,000. When we moved back, we helped them with the maintenance of their house, including the replacing of the carpet, 2 AC units that totaled $15,000, appliances, and weatherproofing the house. All in all, we spent about $75,000 to make their house more comfortable in the remaining years, with the understanding that once they pass, the house will be sold and we'll get our money back, then split the rest of the money evenly between the siblings. When they both passed, we all found out that they left the house to my wife's youngest sibling. The parents wrote a letter explaining to the siblings that the parents wanted to make sure that the sister has a house because she would never be able to buy a house without their help. The rest of the siblings all had houses and were doing okay, so understood and accepted this situation. I was livid because I poured so much money into the house and now we're not getting it back. My wife and I argued for several weeks until I realized that I needed to accept that the money was gone. Otherwise, my marriage would be ruined. Over the years, prices of houses in this neighborhood specifically have increased dramatically. Now, our house is worth about $1.75 million. Sister-in-law's house is also worth over $1 million, but her property taxes are a little over $30,000 a year. She has struggled paying this every single year. Last year, her husband was let go from his job and they couldn't pay their property taxes in January. And by February, they received a letter stating that they were considered delinquent and now they owe a 6% penalty fee and a 1% interest in addition to the tax. On July the 1st, the penalty will increase to 12%. The problem is that all of the siblings have had financial issues this past year, so none of them could offer any money to pay the property taxes this year. However, this year we're doing okay, so my wife asked me the other day if we could loan her sister the money. I said we've poured enough money into this house and I refused her request. Our arguments have gotten so bad that we're shouting at each other. I know this can sound petty, but I think I'm justified in not loaning my sister-in-law $30,000. But my wife doesn't want her sister to lose the house that they were all raised in. Well, OP, unless there's paperwork outlined with a contract of we pay for upgrades now and we get our money back when you pass, then all of that financial assistance that you gave might be just seen as you being a nice guy. If you're going to put money into somebody else's house, don't rely on them putting it into a will. Put it into a contract and attach it to a lien on the house. And better yet, have a lawyer represent you. So now your sister-in-law has a house she can't afford. If she's living in a house that runs her $2,500 a month and she can't afford it, then clearly she needs to move. Good news is the house is paid off and it's worth over $1 million. So she can put it on the market, sell it, downsize, and even have a nice chunk of money left over. So you don't need to lend out any of your hard-earned money. So OP, in my opinion, you aren't the a-hole.